5:30. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Cassie, if you want to go ahead and do roll call?
Yeah. Patrick Roman.
Here.
Jillian Scordell. Here. Shelby Poole.
Here.
Nicole Stevens.
Here.
Joe Valentine.
Here.
Ryan Sheik.
Nicole, will you read the mission and vision?
Sure will. The mission of WLA is to utilize leadership-based programs and strategies grounded in solid research combined with the demonstrated success of core knowledge curriculum as a basis of a rigorous overall educational program that builds strong skills in math, reading, literature, writing, music, science, and technology. The vision of WLA is to be a school where students and graduates become exceptional leaders and are prepared to take on the academic and leadership challenges they will face in high school and beyond.
All right. Going to make a motion to, actually I'm not going to make a motion to approve the agenda. I'm going to make a motion to amend the agenda for tonight. Adding, I'll let Cassie get sat down. Adding 7.13, which is appointing Carly Sherrill, did I say that right, as a parent board member. And then also, do I have to do all of them separate, or can I just make one?
You can do them all together.
Okay. Also, agenda 6.2.1. Would that be a good place to do it? To amend the calendar. To add additional days for a required literacy training that the state is now requiring of all teachers. Was that the both of them? Got them? So again, 6.2.1. Adding 2 days to the school calendar for teacher in service for a letters training, and 7.13 to appoint Carly Sherrill as a parent member. If anyone wants to second that very long-winded motion.
I'll second.
All right, there's been a motion and a second to approve the amended agenda, or to amend the agenda. Any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Now I'll make an approval, a motion to approve the meeting agenda as amended.
Second.
Been a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Make a motion to approve the May 23-24 meeting minutes.
Second.
It's been a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Any conflict of interest this evening? Any public comments this evening? All right, board report. Tough to address, but obviously we lost one of our board members last week, so I think that's heavy on all of our hearts and minds tonight. Definitely not the way that we wanted to see her leave the board, so just thinking a lot of her family and friends and colleagues in this tough time. We do have a lot of change coming to the board tonight. You'll see on the agenda that we are seating some new members. There also has been a change in state law around board members. Going forward, charter school board members starting August 1st have to have all of their trainings completed prior to being seated. Not all of, there are 3 required trainings that they have to complete before they can be sat. So good that we are getting all of our spots filled prior to August 1st. And it is our last meeting with Dr. Mortensen tonight, so lots of emotions running around the table this evening, so we'll do our best to stay focused and get through all of our stuff tonight. So, hand it over to you.
Let's do it. All right, I'm looking at the director report. Just want to point out to everyone that we have 875 kids registered. So I'm guessing that about 840 of them will actually show up. And our budget is set on about 844. So of course Jonas and the Finance Committee and the board will watch that closely. Jonas, I'm going to put you on the spot. I didn't give you any warning, but he's been spending the last couple weeks here, partial days, doing some onboarding and getting used to that. And if I can just make an observation, the first day I felt like you came in like, okay, and now it's like today and this week it's been like, boom, like you're ready, you got your tennis shoes on, you're just picking up you're absorbing it. But what would you like to say about how that process is going? Are you meeting with a lot of people? Do the board members know that?
Yeah, thank you. Well, first of all, I want to thank Kathy from the standpoint that she did so much work to help me be prepared and give me what I needed to be able to get my arms around things and just kind of hit the ground running as much as possible. So kudos to you. It's hard leaving and most places don't have a great succession plan in place that you go on into it. So thank you, that's been great. And I mean, most of what I've been doing the last 2 weeks is I've had 25 individual 20-minute meetings with staff members, most of which are teachers. But it's just really trying to start to get to know people, put names to faces so that I'm not starting from scratch and August from the back. Understand people's roles and responsibilities, and it's been great. Certainly we got plenty of work to do, but Kathy's left it in a great place for me, and I'll do my best to honor her legacy and make a smooth transition here.
And as the person that's been sitting in the conference room, those people that come out, they don't look frightened, they don't look unhappy, they don't look worried. I'm like, how'd it go? And they're like, good. And I'm like, okay, so good job
I can at
to
least
you.
fool people for 20 minutes.
Right. Summer camp, Colleen, I'm going to put you on the spot. Summer camp concluded today. It's been running for 4 weeks, and three is it? Seems like it's been running forever. But the joy and the energy, I feel like all of our staff need to run a summer camp because you guys seem even more energized now.
Yeah.
And I thought you should be more exhausted. But do you want to talk about kind of how it went? And
Sure. Well, it was really beautiful. We had a mixture of 3rd, 4th, 5th grade teachers teach and hang out and connect with those kids that are going into 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. So each of us knew some of the kids, but we each kind of had great connections throughout the couple weeks. We went on field trips every Thursday. Today we went to the Science Museum, and it was great. It was wonderful. This week was Tech Week, which I was in charge of creating the lessons, which you know me. That was out of my comfort zone, but it was wonderful. We 3D printed nameplates, and they did hex bug challenges.
okay.
And some coding.
Okay.
Which
Is this
is
where they did the lemon electricity?
Oh, that's right, yes. They created lemon batteries and worked with voltages and also with potatoes too. So, yeah.
So when you get lights that gives you lemons, you
That's
make
right.
electricity. I
That's
had no idea you could do
right.
that. I'm just serious, I didn't.
Oh, well, I've learned you have an acid and 2 different kind of metals, you can create a battery. Yeah.
Very cool.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
It's been wonderful. Yeah.
Well, thank you for doing that. Human resource management, I think we have filled everything except we have a couple of positions yet, as well as some sped teacher positions. Construction, if you haven't walked through there, be sure that you exit the building out the kindergarten, 1st grade area. That's coming down home stretch. They have to be done tomorrow by midnight to get paid. They're maybe not quite going to make that, but we are going to pay them. But it's really looking neat down there. So 1st grade teachers have been circling quite a bit, stopping in to see progress. Donna and Katie Nelson for sure. That's excited. Nick Rice attended all-day training for crisis management, and he repeated is it the Alice training that he did, that Amy Callender did with Let Our School In a few years ago. Mm-hmm. So we'll have a review or a refresh of that, or you guys will. And then you have communications management, you have a list of that, Valley Fair, the carnival, ribbon cutting, kindergarten graduation. We had I don't know if any of you were there, but we had over 500 people attend. And that was in the audience. And Mr. Broderick and I were just leaning against the stage thinking, wow, we only have 100 kids graduating. And they had put up 219 chairs. So we figured it out by that and how many people the bleachers fit. So big turnout for kindergarten. Might have to go, Jonas, to 2 graduation ceremonies next year because it was a lot in the parking lot. And then the icing on the cake was, they came out of kindergarten graduation and there was a double rainbow over the east end of the parking lot. How cute was that? No unicorns, but we did get nice rainbows. And then WLA students got back from Boston. Kudos, there's lots of kudos listed in your report. Jess Erickson and Nick Rice went on that trip. Kids came back from that trip and said they really like Nick Rice and they think he's really funny. It took him a year to figure out that he was really funny. There we go. That's it for the director's report.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yep.
You said we have 875 enrolled for next year. Did you tell me, where did we finish again? What did we finish our enrollment at? 735?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know, and it was like 2.3 above what we had budgeted on. And year after year, I don't know how it's happened, we've projected it, and we've hit it within 2 or 5 kiddos. So, but you'll just have to keep watching that. It seems like a miracle to me. But if you, of course, you then adjust one way or the other if you have to, but Nancy and I had these kind of special formulas, because each grade level was kind of different, but now those formulas are changing, Jonas, because we're retaining more of our 5th grade. We're getting more 6th, 7th, and 8th graders coming in from outside of WLA, so the algorithms or whatever that Nancy and I were using, I don't think are going to hold fast. So you just have to watch your numbers and adjust accordingly if you need to.
And then you said there's still a few more positions to be filled. Have they been posted yet?
2 of them have.
I still have people looking for jobs.
Good. Okay, so we're really looking for 4 sped teachers right now. And those can be filled also on a variance or waiver. That's how we got Mr. Zamzow, and he loves it. I don't think he'll ever go back to a regular ed setting because he loves
He
sped.
was sped. Okay.
He's wonderful.
He was wonderful.
We have a lot of amazing staff here.
That's awesome.
He's
Thank you.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Mhm.
That's all I have.
Okay. Finance report.
Sure.
What's up?
Were you doing 6.2.1?
Oh, yes, 6.2.1, amending the calendar.
Calendar edition.
Oh, I'm sorry, okay. So the letters training is something the state of Minnesota is requiring of all public schools. It's a 2-year training process for all teachers in grades K through 6. They move groups through in cohorts, so if we have a teacher that has 1 year of letters training here and then transfers to Minneapolis Public School next year, then they change cohorts and pick up the rest of their training. The hope is that in 2 years, all of our teachers will be trained in how to help kids learn how to read better. So that takes up 4 6-hour calendar days just for the training, including then, or excluding the work that teachers have to do to prepare for these one-day trainings, and some of that will launch even in August workshop. So what Megan Naif did as our curriculum coordinator is she worked with MDE to set up our cohorts so that they already matched 2 of our professional development days that were already on the training calendar. So we don't have to adjust anything there. We just are going to be doing letters training all day on those. But there's 2 that we do have to add. So Megan Naif scheduled December 13th and February 3rd. So that's what I'm asking the board to motion on, is to change those 2 dates. They would be no school for kids in grades K-6, but 7th, 8th, and 9th graders could still come to school those days because their teachers are not going to be in letters training. And then the details, can you help me with that, Cassidy? The number of required days for those grade levels so that board members understand that we won't be dipping.
Yeah, so kindergarten is by Minnesota law, it's supposed to have 142 school days. We do 164. 1st through 6th grade is 156 required days, we do 164 for first through second and 166 for third through sixth. And then 7th through 12th grade needs 170 days, and we have 173.
So even with the 2 added days of no school for our K-6ers, we're still going to be well within the state requirements for days in session.
Will our bus company still bus those days if there was only a limited amount of kids?
They will, and they'll love that. But that's a good thing we'll put on our list, Cassidy, to follow up
food
with
service.
Jonas. And food services, we already talked about,
Okay.
but also those routes, because they'll be shorter, they're going to be faster, so the
Yeah.
times are going to be off. So we'll have to
Yeah.
put that on that list as well. And then we just give that list to Jonas.
So Kathy, that was December 13th and what day?
February 3rd. The other 2 letters training days are already on the schedule. That'll be October 4th and April 11th. They're already on your calendar from the first time you approved this calendar.
All right, I will make a motion to amend the school calendar to reflect December 13th as an in-service day for K-6 teachers, school day for 7-9, and February 3rd as an in-service day for K-6 teachers and regular school day for 7 through 9.
Second.
All right, there's been a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. And now the finance report.
I will read through the key financial indicators on page 10 of the packet. The average daily membership overview, the original budget, 754, working budget, 735, actual enrollment, 735. The school's budgeted surplus in general fund for the year is $238,570. The school is budgeting to spend $5,000 out of the community service fund. A projected cumulative fund balance of $2,417,882, or 29% of expenditures at fiscal year end. The school's revised budget is projecting a surplus of $202,645 at fiscal year end, which would result in an ending fund balance of $2,386,958, or 25% of total expenditures. Projected days of cash on hand is 98 days of annual expenditures. This is above 45 days meets minimum bond covenants. Projected debt service coverage is estimated to be 1.25. This exceeds the required maximum annual debt service MADS requirement of 1.25. Financial statement key points. As a month end, 91.67% of the year was complete. Cash balance of the reporting period is $1,784,734 and is up from $1,158,955 in the previous month due to the receipt of lease aid revenues. Revenues received at the end of the reporting period, 90.1% of the working budget. Expenditures dispersed at the end of the reporting period, 90.8% of the working budget. Other items, the FY25 original budget was approved at the May 2024 board meeting. The FY24 lease aid application was submitted to the Department of Education. FY24 lease aid application has been approved and funds have started to flow as of the May 30th IDEAS payment. That is the end of your key financial indicators for the finance director report. Any questions? May or may not be able to answer. Okay, if there are no questions, I will continue on to the Finance Committee report. Scrolling. Page 41 of your packet. All right, the Finance Committee met for its annual meeting Monday, June 17th, 2024 at 10 a.m. This was a virtual meeting and it was rescheduled due to the BOA conference. All members were present and Dustin reviewed those financial statements, and we had a wide variety of contracts that we reviewed and discussed and will be brought forth for approval by the board tonight. Some transition items were discussed as well, handing over things from Dr. Mortensen to Jonas, so that we have a smooth transition. And we have decided to change our regularly scheduled meeting to July 10th at 10 a.m. And that will be a virtual meeting as well. We adjourned at 10:46. That ends the Finance Committee report. Questions? Okay, if there's no questions, I'd like to make a motion to approve the May financials and June Finance Committee meeting minutes.
Second.
All right, there's been a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Turn it over to Joe for our governance report.
Our meeting was canceled.
Nice.
Yeah,
Good job.
it's a big one, so we're scheduled to meet again on July 11th. So there wasn't as much pressing, and we had a few people out, so we kind of just decided to skip that one and take it up in July.
Ryan is not here. Was there anything big on the facilities, Kathy?
I'm going to go through it quickly. Ryan has a family commitment, as some of you may know, so he was not able to be here tonight. As you can read through the notes for yourselves, we're talking about trees and shrubs and a $5,000 contingency fund that we still have. I think it's called an escrow to replace these things. Cassidy, Ryan, Zamzo, and I walked around today for 3 hours. I mean, that's not an exaggeration, is it? Yeah. And we looked at all of those things. And I think what we're going to be doing is, or you guys are going to be doing is addressing the replants in the third week of August. The trees mainly died because it was a hot, dry summer and they didn't get watered enough. So we don't want to make that mistake again. The contingency fund does not have a deadline, so we're okay to wait until it's a little better planting season for that. And then jump down to number 5. We did meet, Ben met with the city of Woodbury. Next steps is to complete the site report, so I'll probably work with Jonas as well as Cassidy on that to get the architect's plans and views as well as the survey company views all in one nice package, resend it over to the city of Woodbury. The good news is they're like, you can go ahead and put the playground up before you decide the soccer field. You can do all these things at a different time, which is one of the things we were concerned with. It's a lot to afford all at once in 1 year. They just want the plan before any pieces go in place. So we had some next steps, and I have no idea what happened to the leaking water on number 6. Did you hear anything about that? Okay. So that's the end of that report. Clumsy.
All right, so we'll move on. Ratifying 7.1. Ratifying the employee agreements. There is a list of teacher contracts that have been returned and signed. So I would make a motion to ratify the listed employee agreements in our packet.
I'll second.
All right, there's been a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Food service contract.
Or is it the 7.13 that you added? First.
No, like 7.13.
Oh, sorry.
Yep,
Okay.
sorry.
Yep.
This is just milk, is that correct?
That's correct.
No, it's for food. And milk.
Food and milk.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was the name.
I thought it was just.
Okay. Everyone's had a chance. I know we talked briefly about like doing a parent survey or something. Did anyone ever make any headway on that?
I don't think so.
On food.
Mm-hmm.
I think
That's something
our
around
student
that.
council, they did a field trip to the CKC Foods to see what it's all about. And I think that they have brought back some really important information to their classmates to talk about how this is all done. And I think or I hope that had a good impact on our students. I don't know
As
if
well
it
as
appears, but-
CKC, yeah.
Yeah, CKC too.
I think
so-
they were changing some of the menu items too.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's kind of fun to have the parliament in motion, to actually be able to come back with CKC saying, yeah, we'll make some of these
Yeah,
changes.
yeah, so that was neat.
Love that.
Yeah, so something we can follow up on later. I know, I think it was Ryan who had brought that forward. That was a lengthy contract in our packet. Are there any other questions or discussion around that? All right, I'll make a motion to approve the food service contract with CKC Good Food.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. 7.3, archery coaching stipend.
I can talk to that. So the finance committee looked at the coaching stipend for both Jolene and Harley to do the archery. They were very, actually not competitive. They were below what you'd expect for archery coaches in area school districts, but we're saying absolutely yes. I think they were like 2,700 or so each for a lot of hours of planning and getting a fair number of our kids involved in that sport in competitions. So that's why that is in there. Do you want to add anything to that, Jolene?
No, we're super excited. Like I told the finance committee this as well. I compared coaches' stipends for archery for neighboring teams, and Harley and I do not want to be a head coach or assistant coach. We want to be co-coaches. So we took a head coach's salary and an assistant coach's salary and put them together. So,
But what's it going to look like? How are you going to recruit kids? Where are they going to compete?
well, for the NASP archery program, it is in our PE curriculum. So it will be one of the first units our students do when they come to class. Meets all of the Minnesota State standards for physical education as well. And so and every student gets grades K through, not K, I'm sorry, 4 through 9 will be doing it, whether they did it last year or they're new to archery. So that'll be their first recruitment tool, shall we say. That's kind of where we get them to bite into it and then go from there.
And then the club, the actual, starts in November?
The team starts practicing in November with competitions, and I forget the exact date, but there are 2 competitions starting January, February, March. And competitions are 2-day competitions on the weekends. They're Saturdays and Sundays, because one day they will do the target archery, and the next day they do the 3D target archery. And students can choose which ones they want to participate in. It's not a requirement anywhere. So as far as our numbers go, we need to have 10 for each team, and there's an elementary team, a middle school team, and a high school team. So we get a lot of involvement by everybody. So that's one way that this program is really unique. That's it. That's what we talk for.
All right. I will make a motion to approve the archery coaching salary.
Second.
All right, there's been a motion and a second. Any further discussion? I want to abstain from this one.
Actually, let's see.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Any abstentions?
I abstain.
All right, motion carries. Pay schools contract.
That is for food service, is that correct, Cassidy? And
Yeah,
it's
so-
ongoing?
Yeah, it's our software that we use for like the PIN numbers and everything, keeping track of numbers.
All right. Any questions on that one? All right, I'll make a motion to approve the pay school contract.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Topographical bid with Stantec.
Well, they came out and did the second bid on our the second survey out front.
I've got a question with that. I didn't catch that before, but so Stantec That would be a conflict of interest for me, would it? So the bank I work at, they're one of our vendors we use as an environmental consultant. I just thought I should bring that up. I don't know if it matters or not. I mean, they're one of our approved vendors we'll send bids to do phase 1s, phase 2s on commercial real estate deals.
I would say don't vote on it.
So
So
if you
think-
don't want me to vote, I'm
Yeah.
fine with that. I mean, I figured I should
Put
bring
that
it
in
up.
the
I
notes.
noticed their name. I'm like, oh, they're on our.
Whoops.
I know that name.
Yeah, all right.
All right, so I will make a motion to approve the topographical bid with Stantec.
Second.
So a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any abstentions?
Oh.
Say abstain.
I abstain.
One abstention. Motion carries. Change the old national bank account from Dr. Mortensen to Mr. Bugan. And that's just a paper that you need to sign.
Yeah,
That's all done.
Jonas and I will go over to the bank and we'll sign it over in person. I've got a great credit score over the last 7 years from millions of dollars that have gone through in my name that will now start going through your name. It's just-
Great. And I've been impressed, got my last name correct. When I went and visited all the classrooms on May 15th, the kids were able to get it correct, so the board's got it.
Yeah.
Good.
All right, I'll make a motion to change the national bank account from Dr. Mortensen to Mr. Bugan.
Second.
It's been a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Another one. You already did it. You weren't paying attention. I went through the list. I said there's a list in your packet of contracts. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I do. I'm so
Okay.
sorry. Apologies. So the sidebar conversations have been with this young lady who we do have some people to add
Okay.
that came in and signed contracts after this list went out in the board packet. So maybe we can revisit that again
Okay.
at some point, and you're gonna tell the new ones to add.
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry.
Do you want
Should we
to
do that now?
Mhm.
Do you want me to, okay, I make a motion to add 9 employee contracts to our existing ones. Do you want me to list all of them?
Yeah, then.
Okay. Alyssa Meyer, Jeremy Hine, Ashley Kerner, Alex Juesid. That's what was written.
Owasco, Alex
Alexes.
Owasco.
That's Iwasco? Oh, maybe I couldn't read it right. Roberto Martinez, Norma Martinez, Ryan Zamzo, Donna Nightingale, and Angela Jacobs. And I have them all written here, Shelby, if you need them. The bottom ones are the new 9.
Quick question. Are Norma and Roberto night cleaning crew or day cleaning crew?
They're both actually, Roberto and his brother own night crewing.
Okay.
That's their business. But him and Norma both are our day crew
Got it.
employees.
So
as
they're
well.
employees of the day, the night is the contract that we approved.
Correct.
Got it. Okay, that was my only question on that. All right, I'll make a second to add those 9 members to our ratified employee agreements. And we will go back up and revote. Is that the right way to do that?
I'm so sorry.
Okay, so we will revote for 7.1, ratifying the employee agreements, including the 9 additional contracts that were listed. I'll make a motion for that. All right, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. All right, next one, changing the school card with Divvy from Dr. Mortensen to Mr. Bugan. I'll make a motion to change that.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. What is that long title? Something?
Education, identity, and access management board resolution.
There we go.
Thank you. Is there a motion specified on that form? Maybe Shelby could read it?
I was gonna say, it's like some long, yeah, I remember that from last time.
For those of you that don't know what the Iowa is, that's the acronym, that's the person, the superintendent or executive director that controls who has access to different information. Some of it's financial, the ADM, some kind of different reports that go out. So I need to come off there so that Jonas can get in there and do everything that needs to be done. I think it's about 56 different reports a year, last time I looked. Another 20 reports for VOA that aren't in that system, but it's a systemic change that he needs to be able to go in there and look at finances and lots of reporting things.
All right, I will read this wonderful script. The Minnesota Department of Education, MDE, Professional Educator Licensing Standards Board, PELSB, and Office of Higher Education, OAG, require annual designation of an identified official with authority, Iowa, for each local educational agency that uses the Education Identity and Access Management, EDIAM, system. The Iowa is responsible for authorizing, reviewing, and recertifying user accounts for their local educational agency in accordance with the State of Minnesota Enterprise Identity and Access Management Standard, which states that all user access rights to Minnesota state systems must be reviewed and recertified at least annually. The Iowa will authorize user access to State of Minnesota education secure systems in accordance with the user's assigned job duties and will revoke that user's access when it is no longer needed to perform their job duties. Your school board or equivalent governing board must designate in Iowa to authorize user access to State of Minnesota education secure websites for your organization. This EDIAM board resolution must be completed and submitted to the Minnesota Department of Education annually, as well as any time there is a change in the assignment of the identified official with authority. It is strongly recommended that only one person at the local educational agency or organization, superintendent or executive director, is designated as the Iowa. The Iowa will grant the Iowa proxy roles. WLA hereby assigns Jonas Bugan as our designation of the identified official with authority for education, identity, and access management. Whew.
Good job.
All right. I make a motion to approve the change in our Iowa resolution.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. 7.9, board meeting training calendar for 24-25. I did meet with Carly and Colleen today beforehand to go over the board initial stuff before they join us so that they know what's going on. But we were provided a calendar and training with some things for each meeting. Any questions on that, conversation on that? Anything you want to add on that?
I would just add this is a draft, and even with the training calendar we had last year, we were, seemed like often changing March training to the April to, so Jonas, I'm sure, will work with Shelby to make some tweaks on this as you go through, but officially, this is what it looks like. And then it looks like, remember is it December and November, you'll want the third Thursday instead of the fourth because of the holidays.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's pretty straightforward.
All right, so I make a motion to approve the board meeting training calendar for the 24-25 school year. Second. Is that a motion and a second? Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. All right, Cassidy, you want to go over the board election results?
Yes, so Joe is voted to stay in his seat, Shelby as well, and then we're also voted to take the teacher seat.
Great. Congratulations, Colleen. I'll make a motion to accept the board election results.
Second.
All right, there's been a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. And now the fun part. We will seat our new board members. So I think the first one is Colleen. So So Colleen, if you will come on up, I do have an oath that I will read and you'll get to repeat. What's our district number?
422.
422? 4228. Make my screen brighter here.
I have to do it in French. She's been working on French speaking.
I say it first.
Alright, I will say it and then I will hand you my phone.
Okay.
I swear affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and of this state, and that I will discharge faithfully the duties of the office of school board member of Independent School District number 4228 to the best of my judgment and ability.
To make it bigger. I swear and affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and of this state, and that I will discharge faithfully the duties of the office of school board member of Independent School District number 4228 to the best of my judgment and ability.
Alright, thank you.
So now are you gonna make her do the 20 push-ups?
Right. That's great.
Alright, I will make a motion to accept Colleen Lautenbach as our new staff representative for our board.
You can just go back next.
Yep, you can.
You get to come sit at the table.
That's right.
Do you want me to second that?
Second.
Alright, there's been a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Welcome aboard. At the last board meeting, Mike announced that he would be stepping down in his role of parent member since his daughter is going elsewhere next year. But we quickly snagged him up to join us as our open community member seat. So Mike, if you want to come on up, I will read this and then let you read it. I swear and affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and of this state, and that I will discharge faithfully the duties of the office of school board member of Independent School District number 4228 to the best of my judgment and ability.
All right. I swear and affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and of this state, and that I will discharge faithfully the duties of the office of school board member of Independent School District number 4228 to the best of my judgment and ability.
I would make a motion to appoint Mike Bullitt as our community member vacancy, in our community member vacancy.
Second?
There's been a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All the-
Trust that guy.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries.
Welcome back.
Felt like I never left.
And then last but not least, 7.13 is to appoint Carly Sherrill to our open parent community parent seat. So come on up. I swear and affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and of this state, and that I will discharge faithfully the duties of the office of school board member of Independent School District number 4228 to the best of my judgment and ability.
I swear and affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and of this state, and that I will discharge faithfully the duties of the office of school board member of Independent School District number 4228 to the best of my judgment and ability.
Thank you. I make a motion to appoint Carly Sherrill as our parent member. Any further discussion? Oh, I need a second.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Welcome aboard. Have a seat.
All right, thank you.
So our board is currently full, but moving into 8.1, Patrick is going to officially step down tonight. I'll let him agree with that statement.
I agree.
All right.
So I'm hoping that William Beck will he'd be a great fit with his background in education, and so it's kind of a role reversal. He's going to take my seat, and I'm going to take his seat, and as chair, so he needs a slower pace, so something, you know.
And he has reached out to me to express interest, so once Patrick steps down tonight, then there will officially be a vacancy. I will reach out to him for next steps. If anyone else were to express interest, we'll have a discussion. Otherwise, we will hopefully get him in before that August 1st change in law. So, Kathy just shared Julie's obituary with me, so do want to let all of you here know that, I have to remember the date. Oh, it's right here.
July 17th. is her-
18th.
Oh, sorry, is her celebration of life, and it's at Eagle Brook Church, I think here in Woodbury. I will get that out. Well, you can get it out.
I can send it
to
out, yeah.
board members, and I'll get it out to staff members, so.
Visitation is the 18th, and the service is the 19th of July. I'll probably send an email around if anyone wants to pitch in to send flowers from the board. I think that I will do that regardless if anyone pitches in or not. But I will send out an email with my Venmo if anyone wants to contribute to that. Otherwise, it's nice that we will have a hopefully full board moving forward, and looking forward to what is to come. Any fun news?
Yeah, we opened the WLA info sort of line for students, staff, families to send in stories, funny stories, meaningful stories about Julie's life. We're going to put those in a book form and give that to the family for the memorial. So if any of you would like to contribute to that, there's a process to do that, and it would be very important for her family to know what a difference she made here, whether it was on the board or as a teacher or just as a friend.
Will you forward that out to us?
Yep.
All right. Our next board meeting will be held Thursday, July 25th at 5:30 p.m. here at WLA, specific location.
So moving forward, room 361, so just building B across that hallway. 361 will be our new home.
Taking this.
And 361. All right.
I'll pass this off to you.
Yes.
We want to thank Patrick for stepping in and joining us as a community member and putting in
Thanks for having me. Before I sat on this board, I had never sat on a board before, and now I sit on 5 other boards. So,
We got you started.
yeah, you got me started. I saw the importance to do my civic duty, so.
We appreciate it.
And so, yeah, if I would have known it was this much fun, I would have got more involved in the community before, so.
Yeah.
This is a very good
Thanks to
board.
Joe.
Yeah, thank you.
Enjoy working with you, you bring a
Yeah.
good perspective to
Yes,
things.
Yeah,
definitely.
thank you, Patrick. Appreciate it.
All right, everyone's favorite motion, a motion to adjourn. It's been a motion and a second to adjourn at 6:19 p.m. All those in favor? Any further discussion?
Oh, yeah.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Under